I think there's a essence level in the body, even underneath the fifth level. You know, when you're doing the souls, you have 3 souls in the body and then 2 surrounding lights, which are external to the body. But coming the other way, it all starts from the original, Zimzum point, which is the Yud, or maybe an Aleph in the core, in the very center. So we're going to call that the Hara point or the core. I think it's up a little bit higher into the even the diaphragm. But there's also a 6th level, and that 6th level is the Atzmuts. It's brought down as Atzmuts, and Atzmuts comes from the word bone. Bone, etzem. This is also, Atzmuts is brought down as considered the self. The self is the Atzmuts. And what is that self? That's a self that never disintegrates. Doesn't disintegrate in the grave, and that's the core, that's the essence. That is the 6th level, which I consider the fingernail of the thumb. And this Atzmuts, etzem, bone, lutz, bone. So the lutz, what is it? That the gematria of lutz is lamed vav tet. So lamed and vav is 36, and 9 is 45, and that's Adam. And this is this level of man. And this is the bone that doesn't disintegrate in the grave. And this is why, by the way, you can't have a cremation, because that bone stays forever. That is, by the way, the linkage between man and God. The marriage is this marriage here is this bone. You see, this is the proof of these. The proof of the existence of God is the Lutz bone. You see. Now, if we do some gematria of Lutz, we get, let's see, Lamed is 80, is 74, and Vav is 12. 12, that's 86. And I'm telling you that I think that, remember, that's 36. That's the 36 righteous men, Lamed Vav. But then Lamed Vav itself is 86. And 86 to me is always Elohim. And it is Elohim. And I'm telling you that this higher essence of Yud K Vav K, even above the tip of the Yud, because there are 2 levels in the Yud. There's the Yud and then the tip of the Yud, which is the 5th level. Because 4 levels of the Yud Hey Vav Hey, and then the tip of the Yud is the 5th level. And my thing is that above the tip of the Yud, there's an Aleph for the Elohim. The Elohim is above the tip of the Yud because it represents the physical, this miraculous physical of the 6th level. And this miraculous physical of the 6th level is what never disintegrates in the grave. And is the ultimate, that's why there's no such thing as a get. See? And I did some nice gematria for a get. You see? There's no get. And so this 6th level is etzem, the bone, the etzem, atzmuts, bones, the self, and where this self lies within the core. So what do we do physically is what we try to exercise to get into the deepest core. We're going to call that core the belly button. You know, the Atzmutz level, the self is the belly button because it's connected to the mother. You see? So let's, even if we're wrong, let's say the connection is to the mother. And so the essence of Judaism is that it comes from the mother, not the father. Other things come from the father. Well, Judaism comes from the belly button, from the Tibor. You see? And the strands, the whole like umbilicus, it all relates here to the Tibor. So the essence, and that's close enough for me right now, to think that the essence of the body and comes from the Tibor and the Lutz bone. Okay? And the Lutz may be man, and that may be even this concept of the self might even be that of father, since Adam, 45. But the self and the center here and the core comes from the belly button. So don't worry if you meditate there and the essence is in the belly button. And there's a deep essence within that of Abba and Ima. So there may even be the bone itself may be resurrected in the father. I don't know, the self. So again, these things are all deep issues. And the idea of trying to get these essences, you know, the 606 number for essence, for Atzmutz, and to be in that Atzmutz level, you see, is a whole weird experience, because the full gematria of Atzmutz is the miraculous 832. 832, which is of course Eretz Yisrael. It's also Gan Eden if you put it as one word and have Gan and then Eden with the final Nun as 700. That's 827 plus the 5 letters. If you combine that, this one word, so it's 832. So Gan Eden is actually Eretz Yisrael, and Eretz Yisrael is in the center of everybody's body. It's in the complete essence level. It's not in the. So what are we trying to do? Let's think that we're bringing Eretz Yisrael into the center of the body, in the center of the world. See, there's a physical thing. See? So that's the surrounding light. See? But the surrounding light is also found in the dead center. See? So the 5 levels expand, also retain internally. You see, so it's not a question. It's not a question of only 5 levels expanding. They're the 5 levels internally contracting. You see, and so to understand that is the big deal. So the farthest reaches in the external have to be done by an internal practice. So you have to find the farthest reaches out into the surrounding circles in the deepest core. And that's why I experience Eretz Yisrael and Gan Eden. It's the 832, it's the Atzmutz bone in the middle of the core. Where is that Atzmutz bone? It's in the back of the spine or the top of the neck, at the dalet, See? Where is it located? Located physically on you. Use it as a core that this is a self we're talking about. This self is part of like an Akashic record that never departs. It always exists. How to plug in, how to tap into Torah, so to speak, which is another word for a cosmic record. How to tap in to this energy that you're walking around with in the core. I'm now in the place where I used to play Dream, Impossible Dream. And so here as we move, so I'm out in a movement. Remember that the highest things are done between two spaces, in walking, not sitting. Halakha means the way to walk. Halakha also has a 60 gematria. 60 is the samek, which is a surrounding light. Samek also has the din of 60. Mem Kaf, which also means that there's two surrounding lights within the 60. And that's the way it goes. So it's 120. The Samak relates to two surrounding lights. It could also relate to the two edges of its own Samak as one surrounding light with two, but there's two surrounding lights. And quite frankly, the second Samak is a mem, as we've discussed. Find this within you. If you can't find it physically, then you're not going to find it. You have to bring it out of an intellectual pursuit to an experiential pursuit. Your atzmut is the etzem, it's the self. Yes, from a Jungian point of view, above the ani is a self, above the I is a self. In Judaism, it's an ayin. It's an ayin. They change the letters of the atzmut, of the ani, into an ayin. This ayin is without. In other words, and that's part of my thing about death of the self. The transformation of ani into ayin. You see? And when you change those letters into ayin, you see? That's the whole secret. Make no mistake about it. It's the whole secret. It's a fundamental. That's a 61 into a 61. That's an Aleph Samek. And it's a Samek Aleph. And Soph, Sitra, Akra. These are essences. Find these essences within you. Change your ani into an ayin. And then see if it's not die before you die. See if the ayin, that's why it's expressed as two words, Ein Soph, because this has to be an expression of ayin. And when this ayin it changes into the ani changes into a ayin, you know, it's like ani Soph, I end. I never thought of this. It's like I end into an Ein Sof, no end. See? Ani Sof is I end. And Ein Sof is no end. And so when you change those letters from an Ani into an ayin, you've done the whole thing. You've done the physical transformation. See? And when you do the physical transformation, then you have it. So this is my first time I've ever said this. Ani Soph into Ein Soph. And when that occurs, that's the death of the Ani, and it's a transformation of it into the Ayin, the Ein, and then the work is done. Because you exist forever in the Atzmut state, the Etzem, the self, in the bone state. You see? And when that bone state happens, see, then that's how that's part of the return, the resurrection of the dead. The resurrection of the dead occurs spontaneously from this bone when you recognize it, and then you are transformed. You're resurrected. See, you're resurrected. There isn't much. There's no doubt. Now, if you've heard this before, go. You understand? If you heard from somebody else, go. If you have heard it from somebody else, tell me about it. Ani Soph into Ein Soph. Whoa.